Hello Stampin' friends, it's Liz Holloway at stampersplus.com and welcome to my video tutorial on how it's made. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful rainbow card by using the circle collections. I'm using dies number 1 through 6 and I've arranged them evenly and then attached them together with a washi tape. Each of the cards you see here will be on a separate video, so let's get started. You'll need 6 of the rainbow colors, all cut at 4 1/4 inch. The colors are Elegant Eggplant, Daffodil Delight, Real Red, Pacific Point, Tangerine Tango, and Gumball Green. I'm going to cut all 6 pieces with the assembled circle die, and you can cut up to 2 cardstocks at once. Here I'm taking a 5 by 3 1/4 Whisper White cardstock and aligning the circle die just off-centered. Place your top acrylic on half of the die and then feed the top acrylic, the die, and the paper through the big shuttle. When you place the acrylic on half of the dies, the only cut part are those that are sandwiched between the 2 acrylic pads. I'm removing the die from the paper, then taking the sheet to my big cutter, and I'm cutting away the middle piece where the arch forms. You can use an X-Acto knife as well as your paper trimmer. I have made an error while cutting it, but that's okay, I'll be covering it up with something. Now that all my pieces are cut out, I'm separating all the pieces and I will show you how to assemble them. I'm going to move all my pieces aside, taking a thin piece of paper such as typing paper. Here I'm using Stampin' Up customer order form as they are a thin paper that will not affect my card. I'm applying adhesive just enough to cover the opening, and you want to make sure that you apply lots of it. Then we're going to secure the Whisper White cardstock to the typing paper, and we're going to recreate this card. So I'm starting with the largest Daffodil Delight circle and then aligning the piece right up against the cut piece. The edge acts like a barrier or a guide. The next piece I'm going to add is the Tangerine Tango, which is the next size down, and butting it right to the yellow.
We're getting close. I'm detecting a massive surge from the dig set below us.
Apply the next size, and so on and so on. And last but not least, my eggplant. Okay, now we trim off the excess away and flip the card over. I'm going to be drawing a line so that I can see where I should be cutting, and then I'm going to draw my stop lines. So here is the rainbow. Don't worry about the cut line on the back. Just take the washi tape to mend the card. The washi tape is thin and it will not affect the card. So here is the rainbow card. I have pre-cut the thanks in basic black cardstock and I'm going to glue them together to create the thickness. I'm using the multi-purpose glue and stacking each layer. I have 4 layers stacked high, and then ensuring that you are aligning the thanks well. Now if you want to glitter the words, go ahead and use the vanilla shimmering paint and coat the thanks. I'm using Wink of Stella, which is not Stampin' Up, but I just love using this pen. It's so easy to apply. I'm shaking the Wink of Stella and then applying the glitter to the word. If you are located in Vancouver, you can purchase this at Scrapbook Warehouse on Oak Street. If you are not local, then try locating this pen at your local craft store. When storing, also, just a good tip for you, when storing this pen, be sure to store it upright. So now I got my thanks, and these clouds are from
memory box because Stampin' Up doesn't have them. So I'm going to just pop it up with stamping dimensionals. So then taking my multi-purpose glue, and this area here I'm just going to cover it up where it's screwed up. Okay, so one right there, and a dot right here, and a dot right here. Just a very tiny amount. And then taking my tweezer. Okay. Now I look at this, and this is not enough shine for me, so I'm taking my crystal effect and applying the liquid right onto the image. Using your tip to move it around.
So now what you want to do is set this piece aside to let it dry. And while that's drying, go ahead and clean up your crystal effect. And basically what you want to do is shake it down, tap it down, and taking a baby wipe and removing it just by squeezing the bottom. The air pushes the excess off. Tap it and you are done. So just taking a 5.5 by 11 and score at 4 1/4 and tape it on, or you can pop it up. So this brings to the end of this tutorial. A list of supplies can be found at my blog at stampersplus.com, and I'll put a link at the bottom of my YouTube. Press the like button to let YouTube know that you like to see more of this type of tutorial. And if you are on my blog, please add a comment. I'd love to hear from you. This tells me that you are visiting and I have given you some inspirations. I'd love to hear from you and see what you have come up with. Lots of hugs.